it going, peeps? It's Ozzy. Real quick, let me start the video off by saying what I would do, and I would fire Stan Van Gundy.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
But we all know, unfortunately, I'm not the manager, GM, coach of the Pistons. I'm not involved anyway, just a fan, in case you couldn't tell. Just give me the 411. That's, I don't know. Anyway, I would love to see Stan Van Gundy go, and I'm sure 90% of the Detroit Pistons fans out there would love to see him go. However, I don't know if necessarily that's the case. Tom Gores, the owner of the Pistons, has touched on it here and there. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. I think there's going to be a GM change. Chauncey Billups is my candidate, and a lot of yours. There's a video I made a little bit ago talking about that, if you want to check that out. But I think he for sure is going to lose the GM role. The only thing that's the saving grace to Stan Van Gundy is doing this Blake Griffin trade. Before we made the trade, when Reggie was healthy, we were competitive. We were a top 4 to 5 team in the East. We were looking good. Reggie goes down, and we're up and down from there, inconsistent. With Blake Griffin in the lineup, you put him next to Dre, they've shown some glimpses of being really, really good by themselves. Ish Smith was not the right guy to be starting for us, but when your starting point guard goes out to injury, there's not a whole lot you can do to that. But when you put Reggie, Dre, and Blake on the floor together, it's going to be dangerous. And it's going to be different from the Clippers. The Clippers, it was pretty much just CP3 and Blake. DeAndre Jordan was just a pick-and-roll guy. Drummond has developed some offense. It's not great, and it's getting better every year. But if he continues to put the work in, his free throw's already gone up, so you can't foul him anymore. And he's getting strong where he's starting to bully people in the paint. And he's just a tremendous offensive rebounder. So if they're shooting threes, he's out there getting rebounds and putting them back up. But then the pick and roll is going to be effective. And it's going to open up a whole lot more for our offense. The Blake and Dre pick, that's going to be nasty. And then you're going to have Reggie and all these shooters. The problem with this right now, this has been discussed a lot, the salary cap between the big three. There's not a whole lot of room. We need to get rid of some people like John Lure's contract off our hands, which people forget that he's on the team since he was hurt this year, but he's making a lot of money. We did get the Boban contract off our contracts, off the record books, but they just paid too much money for role players that we don't really need. Like Langston Galloway, he really hasn't done a whole lot for us this year. I mean, like, then the key one, everyone agrees on this one, Devin Mitchell. We passed on Devin Mitchell. Whoops. Luke Kennard's going to be a hell of a player. He's going to be a good player, a solid guy. But I don't know if he's ever going to be able to carry our franchise like Devin Mitchell's carrying the Jazz right now. They're the 3rd seed in the West. The tough West. They lost their star player, their best player they had in a long time, Gordon Hayward. And they're the 3rd seed. They got better. That's crazy. This kid's good. He's crazy good. And he's a Rookie of the Year candidate. And the only reason he might not get it is because of Ben Simmons. Whole controversy between, is Ben Simmons really a rookie? All that stuff, but we're not here to talk about that. I seen a thing on Facebook the other day. It was a bunch of pictures of guys we passed on. We've passed on Kawhi, Paul George, Kemba Walker. There was another big guy I seen too. Devin Mitchell. And of course Wade and Bosh and Melo. But there was a whole list of Facebook of the people that we passed up on to draft Brandon Knight and Greg Monroe and Luke Kennard. I like Luke Kennard, but after seeing this Devin Mitchell guy, man, how did you miss this guy? How did people pass up on him, man? This dude's something else. And it's on Stan Van Gundy for not taking this guy. It's on the scouting team for not having convinced Stan Van Gundy to take this guy. It's on the GM, and that's Stan Van Gundy. It's a poorly run organization. They want to win. Who doesn't want to win? But they're doing it the wrong way. And Stan, he's. I don't believe I wasn't sold when he got here. He's not the guy for us. Everyone's comparing Drummond to Dwight Howard, and they're not the same player. If Stan Van Gundy had not Blake, yikes, DeAndre Jordan, it would have been a little bit more comparison because they're both defensive players. But Dre's not really that great at it. He's gotten better with Blake coming over, but I just don't know what's the future for this Pistons team. It's going to depend on if we're healthy or not. And so far, the last 2 years, Reggie hasn't been healthy. And that's a problem for us. Because when Reggie goes down, we're not winning games the way we're supposed to be winning games. So I don't know what the move for us is. Stan Van Gundy's only got 1 more year in his contract. I believe Reggie's got 2 on his first contract. He's going to be the one whose contract's up first out of the big 3. But it's a puzzling time. I just don't know where we go from here. We got the talent to be good. We can compete. The thing with the Pistons that I'm looking forward to is if LeBron leaves, and when I say if, I mean when LeBron leaves, the East is going to be opening up. Philly's on the rise. Boston's going to be really good. Toronto, if they choke this year, they'll be done for. But they're still good. But after that, it's opened up. So we got some time to shine. So I want to know what you guys want the Pistons to do in the offseason. Do you believe Stan Van Gundy firing is the way to go? Or just let him finish out his contract and see what he can do next year? So go ahead and comment down below. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description for that. All that mumbo jumbo, and I'll see you guys in the next one.